as we're getting set up to welcome a guest in the show, I can actually hear what's going on. Because our microphone's open and we're coming for breaks. Brittany, what's going on? I could hear you, Mom, going, we're seconds away. Go find your sister.
Yeah, they decided last second they wanted to get an applesauce from the fridge. And I'm like, no, get back in the room.
That's very, very cute. So the Annika, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican. I've always wondered how a golf course in Clearwater, Florida, or why they would call themselves Pelican. But with the weather this week in Florida, I think I'm starting to understand. So what's the minimum for Brittany? If you want, I know sometimes you can't, you got to play. If a tournament's a tournament, women's open, whatever, you got to play. But if you have a choice, 30, 40, 50, 60 I realize is ridiculous. But for you, what's the minimum that you're like, yeah, no, I don't want to play after that?
I really want to go on there and just be like that 1% or 1% person that does like 60 just to get under Dom's skin. But it's probably like 50. Like, I don't do cold. I am born and raised in Florida. My skin is very thin. I hate swing. Like, if I was going to go to the mountains on a vacation, it could be 20. I would love it. But if I have to play golf and I have to put jackets on, I feel like my world is going to end. Like, my golf swing is no good. I feel restricted. So golf, I need it to be like 50. But if I was going on vacation, it could be 20.
Oh, I like that. The accolades for Brittany Lincicome are stout and impressive. 8 times a winner on the LPGA Tour. Of course, 2 major championships in 2009 and in 15 to Chevron. 76 major championship starts, of which she had 28 top 25s and 12 top 10s. Over 400 LPGA Tour starts are credit. 66 of those were top 10s, 151 top 25s. She was on 6 United States Solheim Cup teams. She was also an assistant captain under Stacy Lewis in 2024. And of course, she was talking about her 2 little ones. She has 2 under 6 years old, which, can you imagine that? What's more challenging to you, Brittany, when you think back when you were in the throes of competing out on the LPGA Tour, or now when you're outnumbered running around after 2 little ones under 6?
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what we're doing at that time. But I think golf is still just mentally more exhausting than running around picking up toys all day. That seems to be pretty easy.
We were talking earlier in the show about Ben Griffin, who just outside of 4 years ago, he stepped away from the game. And over the course of the last few months, in 2025 alone, he won 3 times. He's now in the top 15 in the world. He's won almost $12 million. It's crazy. Was there ever a time when you look back on it and you said, I decided to step away for family and for a different lifestyle, still playing, I'm not taking it away from you, but in terms of a full-time player, was there ever a time when you looked at that decision and said, you know what, did I make the right one?
I've always been very lucky. My 21 years, I was never injured, so I didn't have to take time away for that. Obviously, just having 2 babies had to take a little time away for that. But I always knew I wanted to be a mom, and I was never going to sacrifice that for golf, even though I love golf so much. Luckily, I was later when I met my husband, and then we decided to have kids a little bit later. So I got to play a full amazing career on the LPGA, did a lot of great things, got to see a lot of cool places, and now it's just a different part of my life. And I played 6 this year, which was perfect, and then just did some outings here and there, so I still got to stay in the game that I love, but also get to raise my family and be home and be a mom. So it's 2025 has been probably one of my favorite years so far, so it's exciting to see what 2026 could possibly look like.
You bump into people all the time, whatever field that they decide to become, their career and their vocation in. And I'll ask the question of them, would you recommend this field to your kids? And like, oh no, I wouldn't recommend that they go into music or they go into entertainment or they go into this or they go into that. You know what I mean? That it's a very typical refrain. Oh, no, not that. What would your answer be if I said to you, would you recommend for your kids to try to be a professional touring player?
I would say 100% go for it. Golf is such a great game. It teaches you so many life lessons. Being on the board of my first tee here in St. Petersburg, I mean, just watching these kids go through the program and all the respect they have. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, shirts tucked in, collared shirts. It's just a great game, especially for young kids, and you can play until you're 100. I mean, it's just great to be outside, to be in nature, to walk a little bit, get some exercise. And especially young girls, I always tell them, whether it's high school, college, pro level, even later in life and business, you guys know how many business deals are made on the golf course every week. So if you're a female and you can play a little bit of golf, you can get so much stuff done on the golf course. So it's just a great game at ever level. If my girls wanted to play high school, college, if they wanted to try to turn pro, that would be cool. But it's just a great game that everybody should play. And whether they just play with their dad and I when they get older, that'll just be something special that we can do as a family. So I think my career, yes, I would say every child should play because it's just a great game.
What do you think then for people, because everybody has dreams, right? Everyone has
Mhm.
hopes of what they're going to accomplish, short-term, long-term careers. What do you think actually holds people back then primarily?
In golf,
No,
like
life.
specifically? Oh, I mean, sometimes if things get too hard, I think you kind of get negative, get down, and it's easy just to say, "Hey, I'm going to walk away and try something different." So, my oldest is in t-ball right now, and some days she's like, "I don't want to go to practice," and I'm like, "No, we've committed. Like, you have to finish out the season." So, just trying to like, keep her on track of, if we commit to do something, we're going to finish it and see it through. So, I think just it's easy to kind of walk away if things get hard, and you just gotta say, "Hey, like." It's hard, but I'm going to figure it out and do it and see how well I can do it to my ability. And I think that's just something you got to do.
Our guest is Brittany Lincicome, a multiple-time major champion. And as I told you in the last segment, I can hear her corralling her two little ones in there. Brittany, bring them on. Let them come on with you. It's okay. Who's bothering you today? What do they want? Juice?
They're just running back and forth.
Absolutely love it. Annika Sormstan is our Did You Know? Because Annika not only won 10 times for majors, but in the 56 major championships, 59 major championships, I stand corrected, that she played in, she finished first, second, or third 34% of the time. So because we're celebrating Annika this week with the Annika driven by Gainbridge at Pelican, we're here in Clearwater. Brittany, what was it like to compete against Annika, to compete against a legend like that? And for someone that seems so unassuming, was it in fact intimidating at times?
Yes. I remember being my rookie year on tour, just going to the driving range, hitting next to her or Julie Inkster, and I'm like, is this real life? Like, I was so blown away. Just your childhood memories of being on the LPGA, now being inside the ropes with these players is truly incredible. And now, obviously, my 21 years later of getting to know Annika and seeing her a lot and becoming like a friend, it still blows my mind. She's an amazing lady, has had an amazing career, so much to look up to. I remember, again, closer to my rookie year, like just watching her play and playing with her, and she could hit every shot, and I can only hit a draw still to this day. So to see her hit a fade or a high or a low or all these, she could hit every shot, and it was truly incredible. And there was a year on my somewhere in there that I tried to learn how to hit a cut, and I think it was the worst year of my career. But it was just so cool to watch, and just seeing what she's doing now for the game of golf and giving back. It's really incredible, and I mean, the event at Pelican has her name on it, so it's going to be a huge success anyway. So it's going to be cool to see this week.
Yeah, definitely. Anything that is tethered to Annika Sorenstam tends to be very, very successful
Hmm.
indeed. What do you think about the success of the LPGA and the direction that it's going? You have a new commissioner now. Are you pleased with what's happening out there?
I think it's in an incredible spot. Craig Kessler coming in, I think, is just going to be the cherry on top. I got to know him a couple years ago at an event. So when he was going through the hiring process, I was texting with him every couple weeks, like just seeing how it was going, asking Stacey Lewis and some of the board members, like, how is Craig doing? So it was a cool process. I was happy to see him get the job. With the majors all stepping up their game and elevating their purses is only trickling down to all the other events. And you can see that, with events purchase sizes going up, or them offering a free hotel or a free flight, or miscut stipends. Now we have a few events that have those. That is very cool. So the state of the LPGA is amazing. We're only going up and getting bigger and better. It's just a great time to be a part of it, and it's exciting to see, where Craig will take us in the next couple years.
Last segment when I was talking to you about your life, I was talking a little bit about life in general in terms of people trying to aspire to goals. I didn't ask you the question of, are you as happy now as you've ever been? Where would you put it on a 1 to 10 scale?
I think now, I basically joke and tell people that I'm on the Pro-Am tour. It's an incredible spot to be. I played 6 events this year, so I still kind of, dip my toe in the competitive side of it. I really only play golf on Fridays with the director of instruction here at our club, fielding. So I can't get mad if I don't play well. I literally play 1 day a week. So just to play a few events, go do some charity outings, fundraisers here and there. You doesn't really matter how you play. There's no pressure. I can have a cocktail now if I want. And I still get to be home and be a mom, and get to take in, t-ball or golf and all the fun things that they're doing. So I think this is actually one of my favorite years on tour so far.
Does it happen with any frequency now that people have no idea that you were ever a professional player? You're just meeting another mom or dad with the
Yeah.
kids, and they say, "Oh,
Yeah.
what do you do?"
Yeah. Every now and again, actually, a dad on the T-ball team he was like, "Are you the golfer?" And it was a really funny moment. And I said, "Yeah, I used to play golf." It is very cool. It's kind of an interesting segue of, how do you not know that I've won 8 times, to then being like, "Yeah, I used to play golf." So it's an interesting spot to be, but obviously can't take away any of the wins that I've had and all the success that I've had. And just I'm so blessed to have been to travel the places that the LPGA is taking me, and seeing all these amazing countries that I've been to. It's just, I never would have had that opportunity any otherwise. So I've been very lucky in my 21-year career to have been on tour this long.
No doubt about that. You are awesome. Thank you so much for checking in with us. It's always great to hear from you. I'm glad you're still getting plenty of exercise chasing those 2 little ones around the house.
Yeah, they definitely keep me busy. Thank goodness for Starbucks.